Commander Taehyun Park watched the large screens in the control room. His back was straight, his face calm, but his eyes missed nothing. 3 strange ships had appeared near Earth's moon 2 days ago. They were bigger than anything humans had ever built. Now the world waited. "Any change?" he asked. Lieutenant Minji Kang shook her head. "No, sir. The ships are still there, no movement, no signals." Taehyun nodded. He looked at the clock on the wall. 6 hours since the ships had stopped. 6 hours of silence. The phone on his desk rang. "Commander Park." He answered. "Commander, this is General Heeson. The United Nations Security Council wants you in New York. Now." "Yes, General. What about Project Phoenix?" There was a pause on the line. "Double the guards, tell no one, I'll meet you in New York." The UN building was full of people rushing around. World leaders, military officers, and scientists filled the meeting rooms. Fear hung in the air like a heavy cloud. Taehyun found Dr. Jiwoo Kim standing near a window, looking at the sky. She was Earth's top expert in quantum physics, and one of the few people who knew about Project Phoenix. "Dr. Kim," he said, "any ideas about our visitors?" Jiwoo turned. Her face showed worry, but her voice was steady. "Their ships use some kind of gravity control we don't fully understand. But their design, it's not too different from what we're building." Before Taehyun could answer, a loud sound filled the room. On the big screen at the front, one of the alien ships was moving. It was coming to Earth. "They're broadcasting a message," someone shouted. "It's in English." The screen changed, showing a strange being. It had 6 arms, pale blue skin that seemed almost see-through, and large black eyes. When it spoke, its mouth didn't move. The words just appeared in everyone's minds. "People of Earth, I am Ambassador Sil of the Celestial Alliance. We come in peace. We wish to meet your leaders." 3 hours later, Taehyun sat in the back of the UN General Assembly as the alien delegation walked in. There were 7 different types of beings, all walking behind Ambassador Sil. Some had too many limbs, others seemed to float rather than walk. One looked like a cloud of small lights. World leaders sat nervously as Ambassador Sil took the speaker's place. "We welcome Earth to the galactic community," Sil said, his thoughts flowing into everyone's minds. "We have watched your progress for many years. For a young civilization, you have done well." The UN Secretary General stood up. "Thank you for your kind words, Ambassador. We have many questions." "Of course," Sil said. "You are curious, as all young species are. We are 7 advanced civilizations who work together as the Celestial Alliance. We explore space and welcome new species when they reach a certain level of development." "And what level is that?" asked the Secretary General. "When a species begins serious space exploration, your first steps beyond your planet caught our attention." Zil's 4-fingered hand waved, and a 3D map of the galaxy appeared in the air. "The galaxy is full of life, but true intelligence is rare. Your species has only been using advanced technology for about 200 years. This is very young." Taehyun looked at Jiwoo, who was frowning. They both knew human civilization was thousands of years old, not hundreds. "With our guidance," Zil continued, "your species may achieve space-folding technology in perhaps 400 years. Until then, we offer protection and limited technology sharing." The room filled with excited whispers. Space-folding, protection, technology sharing. For many, this sounded like a dream come true. But Taehyun felt cold. Something wasn't right. The aliens were treating humans like children. "Why would advanced beings like yourselves care about our planet?" asked the Russian president. Jill's large head tilted. "All life is precious, and Earth sits at an important point in the galaxy. Several travel lanes cross near your solar system." "So it's about location," Taehyun whispered to Jiwoo. "And probably resources," she whispered back. The meeting continued. For hours, Zil explained the terms of Earth becoming a protectorate of the Alliance. They would set up bases on Earth to help guide humanity's development. They would control space travel beyond Mars. They would advise on technology development. It all sounded helpful, but to Taehyun, it sounded like control. During a break, Taehyun's secure phone buzzed, a text message from General Hyasun. Phoenix. Operational, awaiting your command. Taehyun looked across the room at Ambassador Zil, who was speaking with world leaders. The alien's see-through skin showed organs that weren't like anything on Earth. But his attitude, that was something Taehyun recognized. It was the look of someone who thought they were dealing with simple people. Taehyun walked over to Jiwoo, who was studying the holographic star map the aliens had left floating. "What do you think?" he asked quietly. Jiwoo pointed to a small dot on the map. "That's Earth. Notice how they've labeled it? Pre-spacefold civilization. But look at these markings around our solar system. Those aren't just travel lanes. They look like mining rights and territory markers." Taehyun looked closer. She was right. The map showed Earth as being inside Alliance territory already. "They've already claimed us," he said. "Yes. And they think we're primitives," Jiwoo said. "They have no idea what we've been working on." Taehyun thought about Project Phoenix, hidden in a secret base under the moon's surface. For 50 years, a global team of scientists had been building humanity's first true starship. It used principles found in ancient mathematical tablets discovered in Iraq, tablets that were over 10,000 years old. "Should we tell them?" Jiwoo asked. "Show them we're not as young as they think?" Taehyun watched Ambassador Zil. The alien was now explaining to the Chinese premier how the alliance could help improve Earth's primitive energy systems. "No," Taehyun decided. "Not yet. Let them think we're young and simple. It might give us an advantage." His phone buzzed again. Another message from General Hyasun. "UN Security Council wants private meeting with you and Dr. Kim. Now." "Come on," he told Jiwoo. "We need to decide what Earth is going to do." As they left the room, Ambassador Sil watched them with his large black eyes. For a moment, Taehyun wondered if the alien could read minds as well as project thoughts. But then Zil turned away, clearly dismissing them as unimportant. That was good. Let the Alliance think humans were no threat. Let them believe Earth was young and naive. Soon enough, they would learn the truth. And when Project Phoenix rose from its hidden base, the galaxy would never be the same. In the secure meeting room, world leaders looked scared and uncertain. Only General Hyasun seemed calm. "Commander Park, Dr. Kim," the UN Secretary General said. "You've both been part of Project Phoenix. Tell us, can it work against their technology?" Taehyun and Jiwoo exchanged looks. This was the moment that would decide Earth's future. "Phoenix isn't just a starship," Jiwoo said. "Based on what we've seen of their technology, our engines are more advanced. We can travel faster, and they have no idea we have it." "The Alliance thinks we're children," Taehyun added. "That gives us one chance to surprise them. One chance to show the galaxy that Earth is not to be taken lightly." The room fell silent as the world leaders considered this. "So what do we do?" asked the German Chancellor. Taehyun stood straight, his decision made. "We play along. We act impressed. We let them think we're simple, and all the while we prepare to show them exactly what humanity is capable of." He looked at each person in the room. They thought Earth was young, until we unleash a starship. 3 weeks had passed since the aliens arrived. Their ships now hovered over major cities around the world. They called themselves the Celestial Alliance, and they had started what they called cultural exchange. Dr. Jiwoo Kim didn't trust them. She worked in her underground lab beneath Seoul, looking at data from the alien ships. The lab was deep below the city, protected from alien scans by thick layers of special metals. "They're watching everything," she said to her team. "Their ships are mapping our power grids, our factories, our farms, everything." Her assistant Sung Ho looked up from his computer. "Why would they care about our farms?" "Resources," Jiwoo said. "They want to know what we have and how to take it." The door opened, and Commander Taehyun Park walked in. He looked tired. Dark circles showed under his eyes. "Commander," Jiwoo said. You look like you haven't slept in days. I haven't, he admitted. The Alliance has been keeping me busy with endless meetings. They want to know about our military, our governments, our history. What have you told them? Only what the UN agreed to share. Basic information that makes us look less advanced than we are. He lowered his voice. Are we secure here? Jiwoo nodded and pressed a button. A soft hum filled the room as extra security. Measures activated. How is Phoenix? She asked. Almost ready, Taehyun said. But we have a problem. The Alliance has ships orbiting the moon. They say they're studying it, but they're really watching for any unusual activity. Can they detect the base? We don't think so. The moon base was built to be invisible, but if Phoenix launches, they'll see it. Jiwoo thought for a moment. Then we need a distraction. Something big enough to make them look away. Taehyun smiled. For the first time in days. That's why I'm here. The Security Council has a plan. Captain Jihoon Ryu stood in the hidden lunar base looking at Project Phoenix. The starship was beautiful. 300 meters long, sleek and silver, with engines that glowed with soft blue light. It was the most advanced machine humans had ever built. Impressive, isn't it? A voice said behind him. Jihoon turned to see General Heesun Choi. She was small but strong with sharp eyes that missed nothing. General, Jihoon said with respect, I didn't know you were here. I arrived an hour ago. The situation is changing. The Alliance is starting to ask questions about certain gaps in our historical record. Jihoon nodded. The Alliance thought that humans had only been using advanced technology for 200 years. They didn't know about the ancient civilizations that had risen and fallen on Earth over thousands of years. What kind of questions? He asked. They found ruins in the ocean near Japan. Old technology that doesn't fit their timeline of human development. And they're asking about the ancient tablets from Iraq. The ones with the engine designs, Jihoon said, feeling worried. Those tablets had led to Phoenix's advanced engines. If the Alliance realized what they were, yes, we told them they were religious texts. I don't think they believed us. The general looked at Phoenix. How soon can you fly? The ship is ready. The crew is trained. We can leave in 12 hours. Good, because I think we're running out of time. In New York, Ambassador Zil sat across from Taehyun in a meeting room at the UN building. The alien's see-through skin showed organs moving inside his body. It was hard not to stare. Commander Park, Zil said, his thoughts flowing directly into Taehyun's mind. We have concerns about your species. What concerns? Taehyun asked, keeping his face neutral. We have found evidence that your civilization is older than you claim. Much older. Taehyun's heart beat faster, but he kept his voice calm. Our recorded history goes back about 5,000 years. Is that what you mean? No. We found technology under your oceans that is at least 15,000 years old. Advanced technology. This does not match what you've told us about human history. Taehyun had been prepared for this. Ambassador, human civilizations have risen and fallen many times. Wars, natural disasters, climate changes. They've all reset our progress. What you found were probably artifacts from cultures that disappeared long ago. Perhaps, Zil said, but his black eyes showed doubt. And what about these? A hologram appeared on the table, showing the ancient tablets from Iraq, the same tablets that had led to Phoenix's engine design. Ancient religious texts, Taehyun said, repeating the official story. They describe myths about the stars. Our linguists see mathematical formulas, very advanced ones. Really? How interesting. Taehyun kept his voice level. Our archaeologists have never been able to fully translate them. Sil leaned forward. Commander, hiding technology from the Alliance is a serious offense. If your species has spacefold capabilities and has hidden them, I assure you, Taehyun interrupted, humans cannot travel faster than light. We can barely reach our own moon. Just as he said this, his phone vibrated, a text message from General Heesun. Plan. Approved. Distraction in 10 hours. Phoenix launches in 12. Taehyun looked back at Zil. The alien was studying him with those big black eyes. Could he read human expressions? Did he know Taehyun was lying? The Alliance only wants to help humanity, Zil said finally. But we must have honesty between us. Of course, Taehyun agreed. Earth has nothing to hide. It was the biggest lie he had ever told. In her lab in Seoul, Jiwoo received the same message from General Heesun. The plan was moving forward. She looked at her team. We need to pack up. Now. Take only the essential data. What's happening? Sung-ho asked. I can't tell you everything. Just know that in about 10 hours the world is going to change. Jiwoo walked to a secure terminal and entered a special code. On the screen, a satellite image appeared showing an oil platform in the Pacific Ocean. It wasn't really an oil platform. It was something much more important. A decoy. She typed in a second code, confirming the activation sequence. In 10 hours, the platform would appear to have a major nuclear accident. It wouldn't be real, but it would look real enough to draw the attention of every Alliance ship in Earth's orbit. And while they were distracted, Phoenix would launch from the moon and jump to faster-than-light speed before the aliens could react. Jiwoo smiled. The Alliance thought humans were simple, young, and naive. They were about to learn how wrong they were. On the moon, Captain Jihoon supervised as his crew made final preparations. Phoenix's engines were running tests. The navigation systems were being checked one last time and supplies were being loaded. Captain, called his second-in-command, Lieutenant Do Yun-yoon. We have a problem. Alliance ships have changed position. 3 of them are now directly above the north side of the moon. Jihoon felt cold. The north side was where the hidden launch doors were located. If Alliance ships were watching that area, can they see the base, he asked. No, sir. But when the doors open for launch, they'll definitely see us, Jihoon thought quickly. We need to launch from the south side then. But there are no doors on the south side, just solid rock. Then we'll make a door. Jihoon reached for the communication panel. Get me General Heesun. We need to change the plan. The stakes were getting higher by the minute. If Phoenix couldn't launch undetected, the element of surprise would be lost. And surprise was humanity's only advantage against the technologically superior Alliance. As Jihoon waited for the general to respond, he looked at the crew preparing the ship. They were the best Earth had to offer. Pilots, scientists, engineers. They all knew this mission might be one way. They might never see Earth again. But they had volunteered anyway, because they understood what was at stake, the freedom of their entire species. The communication panel lit up. General Heesun's face appeared on the screen. Captain Ryu, what's the problem? Alliance ships, General. They're directly above our launch area. We need a new exit strategy. The general's face showed no emotion, but her voice was tense. Understood. I'll contact Commander Park. We may need to move up the distraction. Be ready to launch on my command, no matter where you have to exit from. Yes, General. As the screen went dark, Jihoon turned to his crew. Change of plans, he announced. We're going to blast our own exit. Prepare the emergency charges. The Alliance thought they had trapped humans on their own world. They were about to learn that humans were very good at finding ways out of traps. The control room under Seoul was quiet. Dr. Jiwoo Kim watched the clock on the wall. 2 hours until the distraction. 4 hours until Phoenix would launch. Her assistant Sung-ho worked at a computer nearby. The fake radiation signals are ready, he said. When we activate them, every sensor on Earth will think there's a major nuclear accident at the platform. And the Alliance ships? Jiwoo asked. They'll detect it too. Their sensors are better than ours, but that works in our favor. They'll pick up even more detail in our fake signals. The door opened. Commander Taehyun Park walked in looking serious. We have a problem, he said. The Alliance is getting suspicious. They've moved ships to watch the north side of the moon. Jiwoo frowned. That's where Phoenix is supposed to launch. Exactly. Captain Ryu is creating a new exit on the south side, but it will take time. We need to move up the distraction. How soon? 1 hour. Jiwoo turned to Sung-ho. Can we be ready in 1 hour? Sung-ho looked worried but nodded. Yes, but it might not look as realistic. It doesn't need to be perfect, Taehyun said. It just needs to draw their attention long enough for Phoenix to get away. He looked at Ji-woo. There's something else. Ambassador Zil has requested a private meeting with world leaders. He says the alliance has concerns about human honesty. They know we're hiding something, Ji-woo said. Yes, we're running out of time. On the moon, Captain Jihoon Ryu stood in a tunnel deep under the lunar surface. His crew was setting explosive charges against the south wall. If all went well, the explosion would create a new exit for Phoenix. Charges. Set, Captain, reported Lieutenant Do Yun-yoon. But there's a lot of rock to move. The blast will be big. Will the Alliance detect it? Jihoon asked. Probably, but if the distraction on Earth happens at the same time, they might not notice right away. Jihoon nodded. It wasn't a perfect plan, but it was the only one they had. His communication device beeped. It was Lieutenant Minji Kang, his navigation officer. Captain, you need to see this. The Alliance ships are moving. Jihoon rushed back to the control room. On the big screen, he could see that all 7 alien ships in Earth orbit were changing position. They were moving to surround the planet completely. What are they doing? He asked. I think they're setting up a blockade, Minji said. If they complete this pattern, nothing will be able to leave Earth's orbit without them seeing it. Jihoon felt cold. If the Alliance sealed off Earth before Phoenix could launch, their mission would fail before it began. He grabbed his communication device. General, the Alliance is creating a blockade around Earth. We need to launch now. General Heeson's voice came back, calm but urgent. Understood. The distraction is starting now. Get Phoenix ready to fly. In New York, Ambassador Sil stood before the UN Security Council. His see-through skin seemed darker than before, showing his agitation. We have been patient with your species, he said, his thoughts pressing into the minds of everyone present. But you have not been honest with us. The Secretary General looked nervous. I don't understand, Ambassador. We have shared everything you asked for. Not everything, Zil said. Our ships have detected unusual activity on your moon. Energy readings that your primitive technology should not be able to produce. Taehyun, sitting at the back of the room, kept his face calm. But inside he was worried. The Alliance had found Phoenix. And we have translated more of your ancient tablets, Zil continued. They are not religious texts. They contain advanced spacefold equations, the same technology that powers our ships. The room was silent. The world leaders looked at each other, unsure what to say. What are you suggesting, Ambassador? Asked the French president. I am suggesting that humanity has been developing technology in secret, technology that the Alliance has not approved. Zil's black eyes swept the room. This is a serious violation of protectorate status. Taehyun's phone vibrated. A message from General Hyasun. Distraction starting. Phoenix launching in 20 minutes. It was time. Taehyun stood up. Ambassador Zil, he said, drawing everyone's attention. You're right. We haven't been completely honest with you. The alien's head turned toward him. Commander Park, what do you mean? Before Taehyun could answer, alarms began to sound. On the big screen at the front of the room, emergency alerts flashed. A news reporter appeared, looking frightened. We're getting reports of a major nuclear accident at an offshore platform in the Pacific, the reporter said. Radiation levels are extremely high and rising. All nearby ships and aircraft are being warned to stay away. Shill turned to the screen, his attention caught by the emergency. Then he looked back at Taehyun, suspicion in his eyes. This is very convenient timing, Commander. Taehyun kept his face neutral. A terrible accident. I hope your ships can help us contain it. On the moon, the explosion rocked the south side of the base. Dust and rock flew outward into the vacuum of space. When it cleared, a new opening was visible, just big enough for Phoenix to exit. Launch sequence activated, reported Minji from her station on Phoenix's bridge. Engines at full power. Captain Jihoon sat in the command chair. Around him, his crew worked at their stations, faces tense but determined. What about the Alliance? Ships? he asked. 6 of the 7 ships have moved to Earth orbit over the Pacific, Do-hyun reported from the security station. They're investigating the accident. Only one remains near the moon, and it's still watching the north side. Ji-hoon nodded. This is our only chance. Take us out, Lieutenant Kang. Nice and slow until we're clear of the moon. The great ship began to move, rising smoothly through the new opening. Dust and small rocks bounced off its silver hull. The engines hummed, almost silent compared to the rocket engines of old Earth ships. We're clear of the moon base, Minji reported. Alliance ship still hasn't detected us. Increase speed, Ji-hoon ordered. Let's get to the jump point. Phoenix moved faster, racing away from the moon toward deep space. If they could reach a safe distance, they could activate the spacefold engines and disappear before the Alliance could catch them. Alliance ship is turning, Do-hyun suddenly called out. They've spotted us. On the screen, the alien vessel was changing course, moving to intercept Phoenix. Time to jump point? Ji-hoon asked, keeping his voice steady. 3 minutes, Minji replied. The Alliance ship will reach us in 2, Do-hyun said. Ji-hoon made a quick decision. Activate the spacefold engines now. But Captain, Minji protested, we're too close to the moon. The calculations. Now, Lieutenant. That's an order. Minji nodded and pressed the sequence. The engines at the back of Phoenix changed from blue to bright white. Space itself seemed to bend around the ship. Spacefold activating in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There was a flash of light, and Phoenix vanished. In the UN meeting room, alarms were still blaring about the nuclear accident. Ambassador Zil was receiving reports from Alliance ships. Suddenly he stiffened. His black eyes widened. Impossible, he whispered, but everyone heard his thoughts. The screen changed, showing a view from an Alliance ship. It had captured the moment when Phoenix disappeared into folded space, traveling faster than any Alliance vessel could move. The room fell silent again, but this time with awe and pride instead of fear. Tae-hyun stood up straight. It seems we haven't been entirely forthcoming, Ambassador. Humanity hasn't just recently discovered advanced physics. We've been developing it in secret for generations. Where is that ship going? Zil demanded, his calm facade cracking. Tae-hyun smiled. To your homeworld, not as a threat, but to deliver a message. Phoenix will arrive at your capital in approximately 6 hours, a journey your fastest ships would need weeks to complete. Zil's see-through skin darkened even more. This is a violation of... No, Tae-hyun interrupted. This is humanity showing its true face. We are not children to be protected. We are equals. And it's time the galaxy knew it. Captain Ji-hoon Ryu watched the stars blur on the main screen as Phoenix raced through folded space. The ship hummed softly around him. His crew worked at their stations, faces showing both pride and worry. They had done it. They had escaped Earth, and were now traveling faster than any Alliance ship could go. Status report, he said. Lieutenant Minji Kang looked up from her navigation screen. All systems normal, Captain. The spacefold is stable. We'll reach the Alliance capital world in 5 hours and 23 minutes. Any sign of pursuit? Security. Chief Do-hyun shook his head. No, sir, Alliance ships can't match our speed. We're alone out here. Ji-hoon nodded. That was good, but the hard part was still to come. They had to reach the Alliance homeworld, deliver their message, and somehow return to Earth safely. Captain, Do-hyun said suddenly, I'm detecting a communication signal. It's from Earth. Put it through. The screen changed, showing Commander Tae-hyun Park's face. He looked tired but pleased. Captain Ryu, good to see you made it out. We did, Commander. How are things there? Tense. The Alliance is angry. Ambassador Zil is demanding explanations, but the distraction worked long enough for you to get away. And the fake accident? We shut down the signals once you were clear. The Alliance ships scanned the platform and found no real radiation. They know we tricked them now. Tae-hyun's face grew serious. Your mission is more important than ever. You need to convince the Alliance High Council that humanity is ready for true partnership not protectorate status. Understood, Commander. Phoenix will not fail. After the call ended, Ji-hoon sat quietly, thinking. So much depended on what happened when they reached the Alliance capital. His ship carried Earth's hope for a different future, one where humans stood as equals among the stars. Back on Earth, the UN Security Council meeting had turned into a heated argument. Ambassador Zill stood at the center, his transparent skin dark with anger. "Your deception changes everything," he said, his thoughts pushing hard into everyone's minds. "The Alliance offered protection and guidance. You responded with lies." Taehyun stepped forward. "We were cautious, not deceptive. Your Alliance arrived and immediately decided we were primitive without bothering to truly understand us. We observed your planet for decades. You observed what we wanted you to see, Dr. Jiwoo," Kim said, entering the room. She carried a small device which she placed on the table. It projected images of ancient ruins, underwater cities, and old technology that had been hidden from the Alliance. "Human civilization is not 200 years old," she continued. "We have risen and fallen many times over thousands of years. The technology you saw was just our latest attempt." The world leaders watched in silence as Jiwoo showed evidence of advanced human societies dating back more than 12,000 years. "The tablets you found," she explained, "were not from some alien source. They were human mathematics, preserved from our last advanced civilization before it fell." Zill stared at the images. For once, the alien seemed at a loss for words. "Why hide this?" he finally asked. "Because of how you approached us," Taehyun said. "You came offering protection while claiming territory around our solar system. Your star maps already showed Earth as part of Alliance space. You didn't come to welcome us, you came to claim us." Zill's black eyes narrowed. "And your ship? Where is it going?" "To meet your leaders directly. To show them that humans are ready for true partnership, not control. The Alliance fleet will stop them before they reach Zilthara." Taehyun smiled. "I don't think so. Phoenix is already beyond their reach." On the starship Phoenix, the crew prepared for arrival at Zilthara, the Alliance capital world. Through the main viewport they could see it now. A blue-green planet with 3 moons surrounded by space stations and ships. "We're being scanned," reported Do-hyun. "Lots of scans. Their defense platforms are locking onto us." "Are they charging weapons?" Ji-hoon asked. "Not yet, but their fleet is moving to surround us." Ji-hoon stood from his chair. This was the moment they had trained for. "Open a channel to their command, all frequencies." The screen flickered, then showed an alien similar to Ambassador Zill, but with darker skin and more limbs. Symbols on its clothing suggested high rank. "This is High Commander Zelk of the Celestial Alliance Defense Force. Unidentified vessel, you have entered restricted space. Power down and prepare to be boarded." Ji-hoon spoke clearly and calmly. "This is Captain Ji-hoon Ryu of the Earth vessel Phoenix. We come in peace as representatives of humanity. We request a meeting with the Alliance High Council." The aliens' eyes widened slightly, the first sign of surprise Ji-hoon had seen from any of them. "Earth vessel? Impossible. Human technology cannot achieve space-fold travel." "Clearly it can," Ji-hoon replied. "We stand before you as proof." There was a long pause. Ji-hoon could almost see the alien thinking, reassessing everything the Alliance thought they knew about humans. "Your request is denied," Zelk finally said. "Power down your engines immediately or we will open fire." Ji-hoon had expected this. "Before you make that decision, High Commander, I suggest you scan our ship more carefully. Our spacefold technology is more advanced than yours. Our ship can jump again before your weapons reach us. We did not come all this way to fight, we came to talk." Another long pause. Ji-hoon could see Alliance ships moving into position around Phoenix. One wrong move, and this peaceful mission could turn into a disaster. Finally, Zelk spoke again. "You will remain in your current position. A delegation from the High Council will come to you." "Acceptable," Ji-hoon agreed. "We will wait." When the screen went dark, the bridge crew let out a collective breath. That was close, Minji said. It still is, Jihoon replied. Stay alert. Keep the spacefold engines ready to activate instantly if needed. Do you think they'll really send a delegation? Do-hyun asked. Yes. We've surprised them. The Alliance doesn't like surprises, but they're also curious. They'll want to know how we developed this technology. Back on Earth, Dr. Jiwoo Kim stood before a room full of scientists and government officials. On a large screen behind her was a map of ancient archaeological sites around the world. For too long we've hidden our past, she said. The Alliance forced our hand, but perhaps that's a good thing. It's time for humanity to remember who we really are. She changed the display to show the ancient tablets that had led to Phoenix's engine design. Our ancestors achieved incredible things. They reached the stars before us. Then they fell back to stone tools and had to rebuild. This cycle has happened at least 5 times in Earth's history. What made them fall? Someone asked. War, climate disaster, disease. Each time we lost almost everything, but small pieces survived. Hidden knowledge, buried technology. Enough to help us rebuild faster each time. Taehyun stepped forward. Now we face a different challenge. The Alliance thought we were young and simple. They planned to control us, to take our resources, to limit our growth. Phoenix has shown them they were wrong, but what happens next depends on how the High Council responds. His phone beeped with a message. He looked at it and smiled. Phoenix has reached Zilthara. The Alliance High Council has agreed to meet with Captain Ryu. A cheer went up from the room. It was the first step toward a new relationship with the galaxy. There's something else, Jiwoo said when the noise died down. Something we haven't shared with the Alliance yet. She brought up new images on the screen. Strange symbols found in caves around the world, all showing the same pattern. These markings tell a story about visitors who came to Earth long ago, visitors who weren't from the Alliance. There's more to the galaxy than what the Alliance has told us, and I think it's time we found out the truth. As Taehyun looked at the ancient symbols, he felt a chill. Phoenix's mission was just the beginning. Humanity's journey to the stars was going to be more complicated and more dangerous than anyone had imagined.
1 month had passed since Phoenix's journey to Zilthara. The Earth had changed. Alliance ships still orbited the planet, but they kept their distance now. They no longer scanned Earth's cities without permission. They no longer acted like Earth
belonged to them. In orbit between Earth and the Moon, a new space station hung against the blackness of space. It was round and gleaming, built by both humans and Alliance engineers. This was where the new Galactic Summit would take place, the first meeting where Earth would be treated as an equal member of the galactic community. Commander Taehyun Park stood at a window on the station, watching Earth below. The blue planet looked peaceful from here. No one could see the centuries of war and rebuilding, the rise and fall of civilizations, the long struggle that had led to this moment. Beautiful, isn't it? A voice said behind him. Taehyun turned to see Captain Jihoon Ryu. The Phoenix mission commander had returned to Earth a hero 2 weeks ago. His journey to the Alliance capital had changed everything. Captain Ryu, Taehyun said with a smile. Good to see you. How does it feel to be back? Strange, Jihoon admitted. When we left for Zilthara, we didn't know if we would ever return. Now here we are, preparing to join the galactic community as equals. Thanks to you and your crew. Your mission showed the Alliance that humans aren't to be underestimated. Jihoon shook his head. We just delivered the message. It was what happened on Earth that really changed their minds. Taehyun knew he was right. While Phoenix was at Zilthara, Dr. Jiwoo Kim had revealed the full truth about human history to the Alliance representatives on Earth. She had shown them evidence of advanced human civilizations going back thousands of years, civilizations that had reached technological heights before falling due to war or disaster, forcing humanity to rebuild again and again. Is Dr. Kim here yet? Jihoon asked. Yes. She's with the science delegation, preparing their presentation. The door slid open, and General Heesun Choi walked in. She wore a formal uniform with new insignia, Earth Ambassador to the galactic community. Gentlemen, she said, it's time. The Alliance representatives have arrived. The meeting chamber was large and circular. A round table sat in the center with chairs for representatives from Earth and the 7 Alliance species. Windows around. The room showed the stars and Earth below. Ambassador Hyasun sat at the table with Taehyun, Jihoon, and Jiwoo beside her. Across from them sat Ambassador Zil and 6 other alien beings, each different from the next. One looked like a tall insect. Another seemed made of crystal. A third floated above its chair like a cloud of light. At the head of the table was High Counselor Mal, the leader of the Alliance. She looked similar to Zil but older, with skin so transparent that her internal organs were clearly visible. This galactic summit is now in session, Mal announced, her thoughts flowing into everyone's minds. We are here to discuss Earth's place in the galactic community. Ambassador Hyasun spoke first. High Counselor, Alliance representatives, thank you for meeting with us as equals. Earth is ready to join the galactic community, not as a protectorate, but as a full partner. That remains to be seen, said one of the aliens, the crystal-like being. Your ship, Phoenix, has demonstrated advanced technology, yes, but one ship does not make your species ready for full membership. Jihoon leaned forward. Phoenix is just the beginning. We have other technologies we've kept hidden. Like what? Asked the insect-like alien. Jiwoo stood up and activated a display in the center of the table. Images appeared in the air. Quantum, communications devices, advanced medical technology, and energy systems far beyond what Earth had officially revealed. These are just a few examples, she said. We developed them in secret because Earth's history taught us caution. The question remains, said the cloud-like alien. Why would humans hide their capabilities for so long? Heesun answered, Our history taught us caution. Our ancestors reached similar technological heights before, only to fall through war or environmental disaster. This time we developed in secret until we could ensure our survival. High Counselor Mal studied the humans with her large black eyes. Your species has a unique approach to development. Most civilizations follow a steady path upward. Yours has risen and fallen repeatedly. That has made us stronger, Taehyun said. Each time we fell, we kept some knowledge. Each time we rebuilt, we learned from past mistakes. Ambassador Zil, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. When we first came to Earth, we believed humans were young and simple. We were wrong. But that leads to another question. Can we trust a species that hid so much from us? Can we trust an alliance that planned to control us rather than welcome us as equals? Taehyun countered. The room fell silent. The tension was thick. This was the real issue. Trust. Could these different species learn to trust each other? Finally, High Counselor Mal spoke again. Perhaps both sides need to build trust. The alliance was wrong to treat Earth as primitive, and humans were perhaps too cautious in hiding their achievements. She looked around the table. I propose a middle path. Earth will not be a protectorate, but will enter a probationary period as an alliance, associate. After 5 years, if all goes well, full membership. Heesun looked at her team. They nodded slightly. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. We accept these terms, she said. Later, as the Earth delegation prepared to return to the planet, Jiwoo pulled Taehyun aside. There's something I didn't share with the Alliance, she said quietly. The cave markings about the other visitors to Earth? Yes. I've been studying them more carefully. They're not just records of visitors, Taehyun. They're warnings. Taehyun frowned. Warnings about what? I'm not sure yet, but from what I can translate, there's something out there in the galaxy that even the Alliance doesn't know about. Something that might have been responsible for our past civilizations falling. Should we tell them? Jiwoo shook her head. Not yet. We need more evidence first, and we need to be stronger before we raise such concerns. Taehyun looked out the window at Earth. The blue planet seemed so peaceful, so safe. But humanity had learned the hard way that peace could end quickly, that civilizations could fall, that the universe held many dangers. 5 years, he said. We have 5 years as Alliance associates, let's use that time wisely. Jiwoo smiled. Phoenix was just the beginning. We have other ships being built in secret. Better ships. Faster ships. And the Alliance doesn't know about them yet. No. Some secrets are worth keeping, at least for now. As they watched Earth spin below them, Taehyun thought about how far humanity had come. The Alliance had thought Earth was young and simple. They had planned to control humans, to make Earth just another protected world in their territory. But humans had surprised them. One ship had changed everything. Phoenix had shown the galaxy that Earth was not to be underestimated, and if the warnings in those ancient caves were real, if there really was some unknown threat lurking among the stars, then humanity would be ready. Earth had fallen before. But this time would be different. This time, humanity would stand together with the Alliance against whatever dangers the universe held. And if the Alliance ever forgot what humans were capable of, Earth had more, ships ready to remind them. The galaxy would never underestimate Earth again.